don't do it! Get a grip! This stupid video I just showed you! I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show! You donkey! You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship! Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State, it's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. We are here the morning after the initial CFP rankings have come out. In my opinion, this Notre Dame's in a great spot. You can't complain about anything. When you come in here with 2 losses, this is about as good as it could possibly be for you. In fact, it is as good as you could be. You're the highest ranked 2-loss team. So, to me, you're in a better spot than I thought you would be. You're in a better spot than I thought you'd be. Good morning to everybody. Good morning, Dr. John. What's going on here? Lincoln, I'm going to put the link in again. If you want to join and go over your hot takes from the CFP rankings, what you learned, what you think this says about where the committee's head is. If you disagree, that's something else I want to hear. You know, everybody kind of has their mindset, right? Like how they're interpreting data or interpreting information. I would love to know if anybody sees any of this differently than I do. I believe Notre Dame ended up in the best spot you could possibly expect with 2 losses. And it's a huge opportunity, but it's one, yeah, the committee did a pretty good job. Yeah, everybody's going to say that when their team ended up in a good spot. And if you're Miami, you're going to think they did a bad job. And if you're in the ACC, you're going to think they did a bad job. It's all in the eye of the biased beholder. This entire project and your reaction to it is in the eyes of the biased beholder, of which I am one. I am one. Oh, by the way, it's good to hear there's some other Notre Dame YouTube shows that are having the same problem I am with the @ sign and not your regular screen name, but the @ or whatever. I was relieved to watch some other Notre Dame shows who were like, what the hell's going on with my names here? It's not just me. There's nothing you could do. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm just glad it isn't me. I know it's not something I'm doing wrong with my channel. So, yeah, I have no idea what the deal is with that. I'm just glad I'm not alone. It just tells me it's nothing I did wrong or I can control. I don't know. So I feel great about where Notre Dame's at. And when you have 2 losses at this point, I don't think beggars can't be choosers. You kind of get what you get. And if Notre Dame was 13 or 14 or behind all those ACC teams, I don't really think I could complain. I wouldn't. I would get on my show and go, don't lose 2 games. You won't have this issue. So whatever that formula is that they're working off of is figuring out in Notre Dame's favor. And so I love the results. There's some interesting takeaways. And I don't know. Settings, John, I thought I tried that. But I never undid the setting to make it do this. So if you need settings to re-get it to the original way, shouldn't you need settings to change it? And I never did. And nobody else did either. I disagree with this big time. I disagree with this. I see some of you waiting to come on. We're going to get to that. No. Conundrum. I disagree with this big time. Only the last rating matters. No. The first one matters a lot too. The first one and the last one. The first one matters a lot. So I'm disagreeing that the last one's the only one that matters. The first one tells you how the committee's thinking. It tells you what they value. It tells you what they don't value. It tells you what conferences they value or not. So I disagree with that. The first one sets the table. The last one's the final one. The first one sets the table. Then the next few weeks, you have a reshuffling depending on who wins or loses. But that first one is critically important to give you insight as to how these people think and view. So that first one is so important. I'll give you an example. If you're 18 and you're Miami, the first one matters a lot, right? Like it tells you where you're at. This committee does not like the ACC, folks. They are not buying the ACC at all. So it's just really interesting. So I want to know what your takeaways are. And I want to know if you disagree with any of my perception of what's going on here. I asked the question in my show I did last night, the video I put out in reacting to the rankings. What could happen behind Notre Dame where Notre Dame gets caught from behind, right? And so then you have, On Three. Oh, yeah, Ari from On Three. I don't know why he's so famous or popular or whatever, but he clearly doesn't like Notre Dame, craps on Notre Dame. He was all over Notre Dame last night. Cope and cry. Cope and cry. That's my reaction to that. Same thing for the Miami people. Cope and cry. So it is... You got Texas and Oklahoma behind you. People are like, well, if Texas wins out, they'll definitely jump Notre Dame or whatever. Fine. Okay, but hear me out. For Texas to win out, it means they got to beat what? Georgia and Texas A&M? And if you beat A&M, they're still going to be in the field with one loss. I'm telling you right now, if they beat Georgia and Georgia gets a second loss late, they're not staying out of Notre Dame. Texas may move up, but Georgia would move below Notre Dame if Notre Dame keeps winning. You could say 2-loss SEC, they're going to stay above Notre Dame. I would argue a late loss will cost them. They may stay in the rankings, but they're going to drop. Book it. I understand the narrative. 2-loss Texas in the SEC, or 2-loss Georgia in the SEC. They're going to keep them in the field. I'm telling you, Notre Dame would jump above them. You would get penalized for getting the second loss late. You may be in the field if you're Georgia, but you're going to drop. Really interesting to see what's going to happen with BYU and Texas Tech. Do you want BYU to just go ahead and win this game, be undefeated? Texas Tech would have 2 losses and you eliminate that? That's fine, Kent. We'll wait and see. I think they would get penalized for losing late. They would stay in the field, but Notre Dame, I think there's still a penalty for losing late. I believe that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe it. There is a way you could penalize a team like that, but keep them in the field, but penalize them for the loss. Like, that's the other problem, you guys. Think about it this way. When you have all these teams stacked so close in the top 12, right? And then you lose. How could there be no penalty? I'm not talking follow me here intellectually. We're going to challenge our brains. I'm not talking in the SEC championship game. If you got all these teams that are one after another in the top 12 stacked so tight, and then one of them loses, how do you not drop? You can't just not drop someone for losing at that point. Do you get what I mean? If it's so close and so stacked and somebody loses again, what are you not going to penalize them for losing at all in November? You could keep them in the field, but drop them. I'm telling you, there's a penalty for losing late, and it's heavier than the toll Notre Dame paid losing early. So I think Notre Dame had a great night, and you just got to keep winning. That's the other thing, man. That's the other part of this. All of this, Notre Dame's in a good spot. All of this, I see tweets. You're in the playoff. You're playoff bound. You ain't bound for nothing till you win out. You ain't bound for nothing till you win out. Nothing. So anchors away on Navy, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to stop saying it. That Pitt game is going to be a pain in the ass. The Pitt game is going to be a pain in the ass. a rising team that found a young quarterback that's playing great. They're playing their best ball. They're peaking at the right time. It's a road game at noon. You have a coach that hates Notre Dame's guts, and they're coming off a bye. Although, maybe that's going to be bad for them. Didn't seem to help Notre Dame coming off a bye. So we'll see. Maybe other teams take advantage of the bye and practice kicking or do whatever you need to do. I don't know. I don't know. So, but I'm just telling you, that's going to be a beast of a game. And if Notre Dame beats them, then you're God help me if you lose to Syracuse and Stanford to round out the year. Yeah, clearly the committee has no respect for ACC. So it is, I don't know. And yeah, the Navy thing, I talked about this. The Navy hangover, they used to talk about teams have that little weird, unique, specific to Miami or Navy hangover after playing them. I think some of that's being lessened because they're not able to cut the way they could in the old days. And Goolsby talks about all them guys diving at your knees sideways and everything you got to worry about. Those days are getting legislated out of the sport. So I think that hangover is a little less. But it is, you're in a good spot. So let me get through the introduction. I'll do a couple chats. Here's the link. Feel free to jump in. If you agree, if you disagree, whatever you want to say, this is your platform. I want to hear your reaction to these rankings. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps John out as well. Notifications on. That way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio. Somebody was talking about the ACC. I'm sorry, man. And the other thing is Clemson. That is a whole nother bag of issues Dabo's got. You gotta adapt if you're Dabo. Like, you can't just get up there and go, oh, we won titles, so it's okay that we don't win anything now. That is wearing thin. He's going to have to get modern and change some things. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. Nobody blames you. Notre Dame on SI. You could read all about it. Dude can't even finish his intro without getting dragged into a tangent. Pat, I have trouble focusing. I probably have some version of ADHD, but I never wanted to get on medication. I have trouble focusing equally on 5 things at once. I can only really do good focusing on one thing 100%, moving on to the next. Okay? So back off. I'm in a good mood today. Notre Dame lost 2 of their 3 biggest games in the year, and they're in line to make the playoff. That's a good day. You lost 2 of your 3 biggest games, and you're still in position to make the playoff. Man, I wasn't sure that was going to happen. Patreon.com/It's Always Irish. It's the former captain Mike Goolsby, myself, Jared Clark, #1 high school football team in Florida, and Jared's the coach. What a guy to have on your team breaking down the film, baby. What mental problem does John not have? It's a very fair question. That might be a different episode. I got a short fuse and a big temper, a short attention span, anxiety out the wazoo. I'm on no medication. I don't want to be on no medication. I'm not doing that. I'd rather have my own problems in my own brain and take a bunch of pills. So I'll work it out. So that's where I'm at. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let me do a couple chats. I know Pat's going to jump in here. Anybody and we'll see if we disagree on anything or if we agree. Yeah, the BYU guy, I know exactly what you're talking about. The BYU guy is really annoying. And I'm sorry, man. BYU, good little program, whatever. Bro, I just don't respect that schedule and that conference. I don't think they play anyone in the Big 12. I just don't. So whatever, like BYU and Texas Tech, I know Texas Tech spent $900 million of oil money to try and be relevant and like whatever, fine. But BYU, I just can't. So whatever, man, whatever you're going to do, let's see if they win this weekend. All right, couple chats. We get into this. We'll do super chats. We'll bring Pat in. Then I'll go to the other chats. Because God forbid Pat might have to actually work his real job. $10 olive from the flood. If Texas wins out, they'd 100% jump ND. And Georgia and A&M would stay at ND. I disagree. Georgia would stay in the field, drop below Notre Dame. There's got to be some penalty to losing late. Otherwise, what are we doing here? And it's not in a conference championship game. That's my prediction. If this happens, Texas would move up, but Georgia would move down, and Notre Dame's still in a swap safe place there. That's my prediction. There's got to be you can't stay in the same spot if you lose in November. You can't justify that. It ain't going to happen. Top ACC G5 school also have to get in. ND is essentially the last team in at 10. I think they're going to move up further than that if they keep winning. If BYU beats Texas Tech, then there's a spot Notre Dame can move up right away. Even if it goes the other way, and each of those have one loss, I think the team that loses is dropping below Notre Dame. There's a penalty to losing late. There's got to be a penalty to losing this late once they start doing this bracket. You can't lose games and not drop at all. Some teams may stay in the field, but you're going to drop. You don't stay when you lose in November. You don't. You don't. I do think it's kind of pathetic that, bro, the ACC's top-ranked teams all the way down to 14, and that's an automatic bid when none of them are even close to the top 12. And then that other thing, the G5, the whatever. Bro, what are you going to reward the 50th ranked team just because they're a G5 and then give them a spot in the playoff? There needs to be a line where they got to be ranked at a certain level to be able to get that automatic G5 thing. You shouldn't be able to be ranked 40th, but you're the highest G5 team, so we'll put you in because we want to do charity. So I'm not sure I agree with that. Miami got hammered. I'm telling you, I will never feel bad for Miami and that fair weather trash fan base. I will never feel bad for Miami. This felt deliberate. Like, Miami, we put all this stock in you and it kind of built you up and you're letting us down and we're going to hammer you for that. I'm sorry. Both their losses are bad to me. Louisville ain't that good. Got news for you. It's like a top middle tier team. They're not that good. And the SMU loss is embarrassing. So sorry, you're head to head with Notre Dame. There are other factors that outweigh it. But 18, ooh, 18, $10 olive. Would you rather get the 8 spot in a home game knowing you get Ohio State round 2, or would you rather keep the 10 or 11, which would probably mean an easier path? That's a good question. The other part of this is, how good is Notre Dame to make a playoff run this year? They're a little inconsistent. They have injuries. I still have concerns. So I don't know. That's a good question. But all of this is going to I don't look at the little thing of who matches up to play who right now. That's all going to change. I don't even look at those at all. Of the old map of like, here's how it would break out today, and then you would play them. I don't even pay attention to that part at all right now because this is all going to change multiple times. That part's irrelevant to me. It's totally irrelevant. It's all going to shift. The CFP and the committee are just like politicians, a bunch of talking head, pencil neck, geek rejects. Just went out. Onward, Notre Dame. Renee, that's a lot of negativity for a group that favored Notre Dame last night, bro. $5 olive from Adam. Seeing the college football world lose their minds over Notre Dame's hilarious. Adam was stressing out, bro. He was texting me every day the last few days. Louisville beat you, Notre Dame. Remember, are we going with every team that beat Notre Dame in the past? I have to respect them this year? How does that make any sense? I don't remember losing to Louisville this year. Anyone that beat Notre Dame before, I got to respect years later? Is that how it works? No. Ryan Elliott, $5 olive. Oh man. It is so I don't know. Cincy Bearcats saying WTF. Yeah, man. It is it's rough. It's rough out here. Yeah, they're a decent team, but Miami shouldn't be losing to them. Miami shouldn't be losing to them. So I don't know. All right. Let's I will go back. Thank you for the super chats. I will go back to the other regular chats that I highlighted in a little bit. I also, and we're going to bring Pat up, and I want to get Tom Frawley's reaction to this as well. Everybody else jump in, okay? Jump in on the link. Here it is. And the other thing I want to know about is all this CFP talk. I am very open and welcome to hearing about your Navy takes. I want to hear about the Navy game too. You can't make this all CFP. I would love to hear your Navy takes. Pat, good morning, brother.
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
Nothing, man. Tell me if you agree. Best case outcome for Notre
Dame. Obviously, I'm really surprised by it. I mean, great for Notre Dame. This is the best place you could possibly be, considering the two losses. They did two things. They said that Notre Dame is the best two-loss team in the country at this point, and that's number one. And then number two, Notre Dame is better than every team in the ACC, even the one-loss teams, even though Notre Dame has lost to an ACC team. So that is, I did not expect that, obviously, because I thought Notre Dame would fall in around 14. So I was pleasantly surprised. And again, Notre Dame fans, I don't think you should feel bad about this. Obviously there's a lot of, I saw a little bit of the internet last night afterwards, and there are just a lot of people dragging Notre Dame. How can Notre Dame lose two games and at the first two games of the year and be where they're at? Hey, you know what? The body of work, there was a lot of talk last night about the eye test and what teams are passing the eye test, and watching the BSPN show. And from what we're hearing is Notre Dame passes the eye test. I'm not. I said they could, Brian. I said they could be between 10 and 14. That's actually what I said. I was expecting 14. I got 10. I'm happy. But a lot of it was talked about the eye test. Even Reese Davis said every team's allowed to have a bad game, referencing the Boston College game. So they didn't even take that into consideration as they were looking at Notre Dame. I do believe that for years Notre Dame had the reputation of failing in the biggest moment, and we had one season where Notre Dame rose in the biggest moment, and that changed people's expectations on this team. So I do think the eye test has a lot to do with what people saw from this team last year and are applying it to this team this year. And so I hope Marcus Freeman could really take that and say, listen, we got a great opportunity here. We're damn near a lock to be in the playoff. Let's get serious about what we're doing and make sure we're ready to go once December gets here. Doing some comparisons, I said I thought Notre Dame, when we talked on Monday, I said I thought Notre Dame came in at 16th in the first bracket. Notre Dame did not come in the first bracket at 16th in 2024. They came in at 12th, but because of all the different rules they had in place, Notre Dame was essentially like 15 in that bracket as far as where they needed to be. So when you look at that original bracket in 2024, and now you get to take the rules out of it that made it harder for a team like Notre Dame to get into it.
Yeah.
Yes, Reese Davis does consider Notre Dame a top 5 team. He did say that. When you take all those extra rules out of it about what teams get to fit where and all that stuff, and now it's just that all 5 conference champions get in. It doesn't matter where they get in, they get in.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is, they rose from essentially what was 15 to 8 or 7, something like that. Now you're at 10. Now you're at 10. So yeah, absolutely. A home game is in play now. And I think it's almost kind of guaranteed to Notre Dame if you went out, because from what we saw last year to what we're seeing this year with the teams losing, it's going to happen again. Notre Dame just has to be a football team that wins. That's all it comes down to. And so this was really good for Notre Dame. I think it was a great day. The first bracket that ever came out for the 12-team playoff, Notre Dame wasn't even in it, even though they were ranked in it. The first bracket that comes out for the 2025 season, not only is Notre Dame in it, they're number 10 and they're seeded, and they're not getting, they don't have to worry about some of the minutia that happens with conference champions. So yeah, it's just went out at this point, folks. I think this is a good football team that has a chance to, this is a football team that has a chance to surprise people if they stay to the plan and keep working hard and keep improving week by week.
Yeah, it's is there any, you know what I thought about after, I got excited when I saw the initial ranking, hopped downstairs, did my reaction video last night. And then late last night, I started thinking about, are there aspects of this we're not considering, or is a part of my brain not open to some other avenues where Notre Dame isn't safe where they're at right now, as in getting caught from behind from like the two SEC teams or whatever happens. But man, when I play it out, Pat, there's going to be losses ahead of Notre Dame. And so there's going to be more wiggle room there for another team to get in and not bump Notre Dame out, because there's going to be wiggle room.
Right. There's for teams to win and get in, teams have to lose. Like, they're not, if you look at the bracket and you see that BYU and Texas Tech are playing Saturday. Well, okay, if Texas Tech beats BYU, that's a problem. But if BYU beats Texas Tech is probably out.
But wait, well, yeah, because they would have two losses and the second one would come in November. But here's my question. I think, I'm telling you, there's got to be a penalty for losing in November. If BYU loses, they only have one loss. I could see them dropping below Notre Dame and being still in the field.
I can see them dropping.
You can't lose in November and not drop.
Right. Here's the problem, though, with that scenario, because the Big 12 is going to have a conference championship game.
Yeah.
And so if BYU drops below Notre Dame, but is in the playoff at that point when they do that, BYU is not going to get, and they beat Texas Tech in the conference championship game, BYU is not going to get kicked out. Or I'm sorry, Texas Tech is not going to get kicked out, because that's not what they did last year. They did not punish teams for losing conference champ. They did not punish teams that were playoff teams for losing conference championship games. So that is a issue that you have to deal with. But I don't think, I don't see, if USC wins out, they don't put USC above Notre Dame. Michigan could be a problem. So again, I'm an Ohio State fan.
Yeah, let me see them beat Ohio State this year. I don't really see that in the cards the way Ohio
Well,
State.
I didn't see it last year, and look what they did. But there are the way they've looked at this, the way they seeded this, they think Notre Dame is the best 2-loss team in the country.
Yeah.
So unless Notre Dame plays every game like they did Boston College, which I don't see happening, they're in. I don't see them taking Utah and Utah winning out and going 10-2, Notre Dame winning out and going 10-2, and say, no, we think Utah is now better than Notre Dame. Maybe Oklahoma, if Oklahoma wins out, but then Texas is eliminated, and Oklahoma also plays Alabama, and they're going to put a second loss on Alabama's schedule. So, yeah, I don't. So does that mean Alabama's eliminated? Not necessarily, but it means that
they got to drop.
Notre Dame moves up. Notre Dame moves up. So somebody has to drop, but it's likely not going to be Notre Dame. They have said Notre Dame is the best 2-loss team in the country. That's all it comes down to. And they also said, and I just want to reiterate this again for everybody who went nuts on Saturday. I said it. Nobody was watching this game. It doesn't matter. They said it.
Yeah.
We didn't watch that game. It didn't matter. Even if they watched that game, they said, it's fine. It didn't matter. Notre Dame is the best 2-loss team in the country.
Yeah. So somebody did the research. I was looking at some of the national podcasts last night after this, the reaction to it. And one of the things a guy brought up is talking about a team in the play. If you're waiting, we're going to get to you. Tom Frawley, I want your takeaway on this. I'll put the link in. Everybody else jump in if you want. Renee, I see. I don't know if you're working or want to hop on the air or both. And they brought up the concept of a team that's in the field, winning their games from here on out and dropping. And they said the last time a team that was in the field got dinged for a win was back when it was 4 teams and you were jockeying for the 4th spot. And then for that 4th spot, it was how pretty do you look in November? Who's got the best? Who's putting it on the best in November?
That was Florida State when they went 13-0.
And
right?
Yeah, I think so. And they're just saying you usually don't get penalized for wins once you're in the field if you just keep on winning.
But also remember why and you can't look. I don't think it's fair to look at the top the 4-team playoffs because it's just completely different now. You're talking about 12 teams at this point.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, look how they started the playoffs last year. It was Notre Dame on full display. Nobody cared about Indiana. It was we were doing the very first 12-team playoff at Notre Dame Stadium on a Friday night.
Yeah.
In December, playing college football in South Bend, Indiana on a Friday night. Yeah. That meant something. It wasn't coincidental that Notre Dame got that draw. It was they wanted Notre Dame on display because it draws the eyeballs and it draws the money. And as some people may say it's BS that plays into it, it does. I'm sorry, it does. When you're Utah or you're when you're a school like Utah or BYU and you can't draw like Notre Dame can, that stuff's going to happen.
Here's 2 things that I think is in the committee's head, but they can never talk about when they do these interviews. How a team did recently, like how a team did, like how a team did last year or whatever. They can't talk about that, but I think it matters. Every time I log in here, I get one of those reboot your computer, update your systems. Every morning I'm live. Do it another time when I'm asleep.
Well, you need to trigger it. Why don't you, after the show's over, trigger it?
I know, because I got stuff to do and I don't want it to do whatever. And then whatever, it'll do it later.
So then you're just going to keep complaining about it.
Yes. So don't question my methods. And I'm always worried something's going to change. If I reboot my update or whatever, I'm worried something's going to move.
Maybe everyone's names will come back.
Yeah. But Pat, you can't say, oh, we value what a team did last year. They have playoff credibility or whatever. But I guarantee subconsciously some of that is in people's heads of that they're going to prove us right or wrong on our decision. And then I'm telling you the other thing, branding matters with certain teams, not every team. Certain teams, the branding matters. Those dorks in the committee cannot go, we like that gold helmet at the bottom in the playoff bracket being in. They can't say it, but they know they like it. And so sometimes, Pat, it's just good to be Notre Dame. And sometimes it's bad to be Notre Dame, depending on what we're talking about. In this instance, it's good to have that gold helmet.
It's good to have that gold helmet. But it's good to have the gold helmet. It's always going to be good to have the gold helmet. It puts a target on you, but that's fine. I'll live with that to get the other benefits it gives you. But yeah, overall it's a good night. I knew as soon as Miami came in at, what did they come in at 18? As soon as Miami came in at 18, I was like, oh, Notre Dame's gonna be 10.
Yep.
As soon as I saw that, I watched it live and I knew Notre Dame was gonna be 10 at that point because they clearly just dumped on Miami. And all right, that's fine because I kind of dumped on Miami too. So I agreed with that. But again, in my own, looking at it logically, I still don't understand how that head-to-head matchup didn't play into Miami. That Joey Galloway and Booger McFarland talked about, there's clearly a team ascending and a team descending. Okay, that makes sense. But I still think that 1-to-1 should matter. And then, just the blatant disrespect for the ACC. But there's history with that throughout the college football playoff committee. and they've always had a disrespect for the ACC. So that's probably why teams want to lose. That's probably why teams want to lose or leave the ACC because this kind of
Tough.
treatment that they get.
What do you think of this theory? I've seen a few different national hosts bring this up. The theory of Notre Dame over Miami, and you look at the other loss, not the head-to-head, but Notre Dame's loss to A&M is a much stronger
Oh,
loss
that's what
than
comes.
the
That's
SMU
that's
loss,
what plays
right?
into it because
Yeah.
Notre Dame and Miami are playing a similar schedule all in. They're playing ACC teams,
Yeah.
so they're playing similar competition. It's just Notre Dame had a loss to the third best team in the country. Miami had a loss to SMU.
Here's the other
That's what
part,
does
though.
it.
That's not even the interesting part. This part I didn't think about, but it makes sense in a way. What do you think of that argument of, and everybody's mentioned it, Notre Dame seems to be ascending. They're on a long winning streak. Like, they look pretty good. They're winning. And Miami's had a couple losses and they're teetering and they look like they're trending down. A couple of these national guys said that shouldn't be a consideration. Like, the record's the record. You should look at what they've done. And if Miami's descending, you rank them based on what they've done. And if they're really descending, they're going to wipe themselves out in November, lose another game
I
or
think
two
that's
anyways.
fair. I do think that's fair.
Do you get what I'm saying, though,
Yes.
about projecting down the road versus what you've done now in this ranking being that's an interesting intellectual argument.
How do they say that? How do they say that after looking at Miami's losses?
Yeah.
You know, how do you say that and say, like, I agree with it in spirit, but if Miami's descending, they're already in the process of doing it. Their losses are showing you they're doing it.
Yeah.
So why do you have to wait for them to continue to do it? If Miami bounces back and starts winning again and finishes 10-2, they're going to move up. If they win the ACC, they're going to be there. So Miami still has a path. They're not eliminated from it.
I was going to say, what is their angle into the ACC championship? Doesn't that look tough for them with the loss?
Probably is tough.
To Louisville. Like, so I don't even know what their path is or if there is one to that game, because that's another hurdle for them in the ACC.
There's probably a path, but I don't know. They probably need a lot of help.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Does the ACC, because they used to do that Coastal and Atlantic division. Yeah. I don't know if they still do that. But I at the end of the day, I'm not worried about it because I don't think Miami's that good. I think somebody put in there, Beck's going to quit on the team. I think Beck already did quit on the team.
He's frustrated, man.
Yeah,
he's frustrated.
And all the people that said Notre Dame would have lost to Georgia with Carson Beck as the quarterback, this is proof there's not a chance. The guy is a jerk. He is such a stroke. He was never going to make the difference in that game. He's just not a good player. He's not a good teammate. This is why you're now seeing why Georgia was okay with him leaving, because of the way he acts. He's like the Brian Kelly of quarterbacks.
Here's the thing, Pat, and we've said this forever, and I say it about Miami, and I say it about USC all the time. They are front-running programs. When things are going good, they really ride that momentum. They both get that swag about them, and they lean into it, and they're like riding it. But both of those programs, when things start to go wrong, they tend to go really wrong. And then, like, USC's trying to fight back and hang in there, and they're going to get their shot against Oregon. So you're going to get you're going to get that USC answer with 2 losses because they get an Oregon shot. And you know what? That's Iowa. Iowa was a big winner in this, Pat. They weren't even in the AP poll.
I know.
I know.
And to the people that say this is just a mirror of the AP poll, obviously we know that's not the case because Iowa wasn't even in there. Miami is so far. Miami fell so far. This is no way possible a mirror of the AP poll. But I also, the disrespect for Oregon. You know, we talk about Notre Dame and how I think Notre Dame's efforts in a prior season have influenced this. They clearly don't consider Oregon to be a contender. Maybe it's because Oregon, it loses to Indiana and hasn't played anybody.
You know what it is,
got blown out last year by Ohio State.
Here's what it is. Oregon was leaning on the credibility of the big Penn State win that now carries no weight.
Carries no weight. You're right.
That was their big moment, and each week it looks worse. And so Oregon got burned, and the only other decent team they played, they lost. So that's the argument against Oregon. And there's really, I mean,
and so like I
Penn
said on
State
Monday,
screwed that all up.
Right. I was worried on Monday that Oregon would have been a higher seed and USC beating Oregon could put Notre Dame at risk. But even if USC beats Oregon, I think Oregon's out. I think a 2-loss Oregon is out based on this seeding. I'm no longer worried about Oregon being a seed, being a team that puts Notre Dame at risk. Because they're just one spot ahead of them. If you think Oregon is only one spot better than Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is a 2-loss team and Oregon's a 1-loss team, I don't see how you think if a common opponent that Notre Dame beat, that USC beats Oregon, how you could say Oregon is a better team than Notre Dame.
The thing that I believe in that a lot of people are not wanting to see, or they push back on me on, is the concept that these teams are all jammed right on top of one another. Yeah. If you lose in there, you are going to drop. You may stay in the field, but you're going to drop. And I'm not talking about conference championships, talking about the rest of the regular season in November. Right. You're all like, I'm telling you, if Georgia lose again, Notre Dame's going to be out of them. They will get penalized for losing a second game this late. They may stay in the field, but they're going to drop. Like, this is crunch time. Anything else, Pat, that stands out to you?
It was a surprisingly good turn of events for Notre Dame. And I think Notre Dame fans should be really happy with where they're at. And with that said, I still think Notre Dame is a football team that needs to make a lot of improvement.
That's where I was going to go next. I'm glad you did it, because I was going to say Notre Dame is not playing as clean a football as a lot of these teams, or like one of the favorites or whatever. You should just be thankful you're where you're at, and you got to get a lot better the rest of the way.
You have to get a lot better. This is the rest of the way is about showing you earn this spot, getting that home game, and preparing for what's coming your way if you actually do make it. Because I do think this is a gift. John, the first thing I texted you when I saw it was overrated. I still think they're overrated at 10, because I am watching a product. I am not saying they don't belong. I am not saying at the end of the year, if Notre Dame goes 10-2, they don't belong there. What I'm saying is that if we think this Notre Dame football team is capable of a deep run into December and January, they have to get a lot better.
Yes. So, this is for all of the rough stuff. The first 2 tough games, breaking in a new DC, figuring out your defensive personnel, the new quarterback, learning to be a starter, all this stuff, losing 2 of your 3 biggest games. If you are able to survive all that and get into the playoff at all, hosting seed or not, that is a really like awesome break for you, and you need to take advantage of it. The experience for a young nucleus Notre Dame team, the experience for the playoff, the preparation, the moment, and you roll the dice, you lay it all out there and see what you could do. But nobody's in here. I'm not saying, Notre Dame, right to the championship game again. No. Notre Dame's not playing that consistent. They're banged up, like whatever. But man, you are, for what you've been through and allowed to happen, you're in a great spot.
Absolutely. So, and just a final note before I take off. So Notre Dame in the opening poll of 2024 was ranked 12th, but had to overcome 3 different conference tie-ins. So they were essentially 15. And Notre Dame on the final poll before the bowl game poll. So not the final poll after the bowl games, but the bowl game, the final poll of the conference championship games. So the one before the final one rose to 4.
Yeah.
And then after the championship games, they landed at 7. So you went from 12 to 4 in 4 weeks. And then you ended up at 7 after the conference championship games. So you rose 5 spots, but in actuality, the way what you're capable of this year, because those tie-ins don't matter anymore, you're capable of rising up 8 spots.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. 8 spots. So
hey,
you're in a pretty safe spot at 10.
for starting out 0-2.
Yep.
You got to love, this is about as beneficial as it gets. Now Notre Dame needs to take advantage. But the final thing I have for you, Pat, is I am hoping there's a little influx of energy and excitement now with the media, the players themselves, the whole ecosystem. Now that you have this reaffirmation, you're really in the mix and it isn't a debate anymore. I really want to see like a ramp up of the energy here down the stretch, because you are squarely right in the middle of this. And I don't think a lot of Notre Dame people were sure you were going to be because of those first 2 weeks. So
that's such a good point. That's such a good point. And finally, the very last thing, we got a gift from the committee, not the ranking, but Pitt.
Yeah.
We got a quality win we could put on the schedule with the Pitt game.
Yeah. And Pitt has other opportunities besides Notre Dame as well with the end of their schedule.
Yep.
They could be a moving factor in a lot of different ways that moves things around. So it's take care of Navy and then get ready for battle, because I think that Pitt is going to be a tough, good game at noon there in Pitt with Narduzzi, who hates us. They're coming off a bye. Like, they're going to be ready, and Notre Dame's going to fight that one out.
Who actually likes Narduzzi, though? That guy's
I don't even think his family probably likes him. I don't like. He's just not.
Is he the new Brian Kelly of college football?
He's about that life. He's pissed off all the damn time. Oh, one more thing, Pat.
Yeah,
one more. I did not know that sports writer Ivan Maisel was on the committee. Did you see that when they did the
I didn't
name?
see that. I didn't see that.
The writer of the book I'm reading here was on the committee. I didn't realize he was like on there. That was a little interesting to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, or I forgot about it.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know I thought it was all like
me too.
Inside football, inside athletic people from these universities. I didn't realize they put sports writers on there.
I thought that was interesting too. Pat, thanks a lot for joining. I really do appreciate it. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Probably you're coming up next. Relax.
Have a good one.
Later.
Yeah. What are you, Tom? What are you, falling asleep or what?
No, that the last 15 minutes of that conversation was a throwback to Father McGrath's class at Fenwick of algebra and trigonometry. My brain is about to be fried. God, that brain damage.
Hey, by the way, Tom, your hair is looking fantastic today, brother.
Yeah. I went and got my ears lowered. So yeah, and I got the Stan Mikita 61 jersey on today. My Blackhawks are starting to finally play, so that's good. Hey, look, Pat hit all the hot points, right? On the whys and the wherefores. I'm more concerned about the chaos that's yet to ensue and who we would actually play. Because like Pat said at the end, they really need to tighten things up. Obviously, the obvious elephant in the room is the kicking game, the goal line, the offense, being able to, they've got here. Look, they're going to have to figure out some kind of an offense. I don't know what you do on the goal line, inside the 5-yard line or inside the 10-yard line. Do you put Kenny Minchie in and let him have, and then do you go with the double tight end set using a tight end as a fullback? One of the things I've noticed is that they don't like to go to the perimeter. You got Jeremiah Love, for God's sakes. Get to the outside. You're running it up the gut. They're putting 8 guys in the box. Have a little ingenuity. And then how about using the 6'7" tight end?
Yep.
I could be wrong, but maybe
I thought he would be a bigger weapon in the red zone.
Oh,
like
my God,
throw him a ball, let him box people out, that kind of thing. Misdirection, anything to the edge, we haven't quite seen yet. And then, Tom, here's what's another part of this. Notre Dame's in a rough spot with the O-line. Your interior 3 are like, you have guys banged up, you have backups in there. Like, I have worries about that too. Like, Notre Dame is far from a polished product heading into the playoff. It's just, I'm happy to be where you're at, and you need to play better football the remaining month.
There's no doubt. And the thing that keeps, I mean, if we're going to be honest, like Patrick was talking about, are they overrated at 10? I got to agree with Patrick. I think they are overrated at 10 right now. I was just hoping that they'd get to 12 by selection day. Yeah. Just get to the 12. And
well, now wait, Tom, the 12 really needs to be 10 though.
No, I know it does. And
so like that's tricky too, because the 12 you need to get to be safe is really 10 because the ACC champs getting in and they're not in the top 12, and then the G5. So 10 is the last safe spot. 11 and 12 are not.
It really is. So, look, it's theirs to piss away.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So it's all about taking care of business.
Yep.
And tightening up the ship. Now, we know from Marcus Freeman's track record that early on in the season, his teams don't have that razor's edge. But what we saw last year, they gelled at the right time.
Yeah.
Hopefully that we see a repeat of that. I mean, I think what has people mystified is that we finally have a very good quarterback and two outstanding running backs, but we don't have the rest of the secret sauce. It's just not up to par. And if you're going to look at past teams and history and all of that, I mean, this is unique because the season before the last two national championships weren't complete teams either. That's why they didn't, I remember in 1976, Notre Dame went to the Gator Bowl with an 8-3 record to play Penn State, and they beat Penn State. But Dan Devine had Joe Montana sitting on the bench, and he didn't play him until literally the fourth game of the 77 season. The 87 team, Tony Rice wasn't fully operational. You had Tim Brown in that team, but he lost him. He had to retool that whole team going into the 88 national championship team. And thank God they have talent. So what does Notre Dame have? Is it their year? I don't know. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying no, it's not. I just don't want them to get embarrassed in the playoff again, because that leads to more bullshit, more ND hate. You guys you never soft schedule. You don't belong. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. And it's like, I wish these people, especially the Notre Dame haters in the Big Ten, they're becoming the biggest pains in the ass. You see some of the schedules that they're playing down the stretch. It's ridiculous. It's like, what are you guys talking about? Yeah, okay, great. You get a conference championship, but how many Big Ten teams are probably going to make the playoff? 3?
I mean,
I'm asking because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's see what happens. I mean, you would like to think Ohio State and Indiana undefeated, they're going to be in even if one of them loses. And then let's see what happens with Oregon. And then let's see, I don't know, let's see what else happens.
Yeah, the chaos that ensues. I don't know if they're going to be able to address the kicking game situation.
How? What do you do, Tom? What can you do? What can you do?
It seems to me there's, it's 50% fundamentals, 50% mental. Maybe it's 70-30. I don't know. But from what Jack Sullivan saw, and I saw the same thing, he put it up on Patreon on Sunday, that it didn't look like the ball was being spun right by the holder. And they're kicking into the laces. Now, I know that's problematic. So, again, we don't know what they're doing in practice. So how much time are they actually executing that? And if I'm Marcus Freeman and Marty Biaggi, I'm making sure, and all that chatter about trying to find a kicker and running a tryout like they used to be able to do, they can't do it because of the scholarship limitations. They're handcuffed. So we're stuck with the 3 kickers that are on the roster. So now, they better get that sorted out, because we're going to need, just like Jeter down the stretch last year, and into the Penn State game. It's all hands on deck. We're going into the playoff, right? So they got to take care of business. Obviously, this Saturday, I'm not really worried, and I'll tell you why. I think there's the returning starters on Notre Dame have seen that hybrid wing T triple option veer that they run.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I saw of Navy the last couple of weeks, they're running a lot more RPO. So he threw a couple interceptions against North Texas State coming out of RPO. Mm-hmm. If Notre Dame stays disciplined, Leonard Moore and Schuler should have a big day Saturday in the defensive backfield. So I'm not overlooking Navy. I respect the Navy. God bless the Navy for all the right reasons, right? But you got to get to that Pitt game. And they called that a noon game, right? The Pitt game?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that bodes well for us, too. I like the noon game. You get there Friday morning, check in. It's a business trip. Get in and get out and get back home by 9 o'clock that night. And then just coast into the rest of the season. And I'm just wondering if they're going to implement certain packages after the Navy game in preparation for Pitt and the rest of the season. Are they going to be able, will you show what you're going to do against Syracuse and Stanford? You don't have to. They stay fundamental, right? Just take care of the little things, but they're going to have to work on some exotic stuff in the goal line offense. They're going to bring, Denrock's going to have to bring some mismatches that he likes to. He's going to have to draw it up. And another thing, they're going to have to tell CJ Carr that if he is going to take off, he's got to learn how to slide like he's sliding into second base.
Yeah, he's risking
oh my God,
or a snapped ACL by the way he falls every time.
I genuflect every time he takes off, and it's like, so that's got to be worked on. Those little things that are glaring to us as fans, they've got to be, quadrupled in their minds, because they're seeing it every day. Well, what aren't they doing in practice? There's a fundamental disconnect here that I just can't explain. But I just got to have faith that they've got the wherewithal to change it, because God knows there's enough talent on there. And what do you do going forward now with the receivers, right? Is Greathouse, is he completely on the shelf now?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. And there's still all the rumors about he isn't happy about playing time. Is he doing this to maneuver, save a year and get out of here? I don't know the veracity of that. But it's a rumor out there.
I just want continuity amongst the players and the coaching staff. This is when they have to circle the wagons and say, okay, all right, it looks like, and the kids are obviously they're probably talking about this in meetings and at practice. Okay, it's ours to lose. Let's see if we can clean this up and let the athletic ability, let them play loosey-goosey as far as, they don't need to white knuckle anything. Thank God. And hopefully by the way, when is selection Saturday or selection Sunday?
It's a good question. I don't know. Doesn't that come right after the conference title games? I forget which.
Yeah, somebody knows. Put it up in the chat. So basically, we're looking at what? We get another 3.5 weeks of the season.
Yeah. So what?
And then it's probably 6 weeks out, right?
Yeah.
So in that 6 weeks, that's a lot of time. They're going to have a Thanksgiving break and go right into the Christmas break, right? So they're going to have a bona fide, at least 2.5 to 3 weeks of full practice time. You could have a mini camp. They should be able to get the kicking sorted out by then.
Yeah. And get healthier too. Get
Yes,
healthier too. That's the
yes.
other part.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. And, you know, I don't know about Jagasaw. I just say, look, you've got to run with the studs that you have. You got the players there. They know. I'm looking for that spark, and I think we'll see the spark by Pittsburgh.
Well, you better see a spark, or you're out of the playoff altogether.
No, I mean, I think the game that we wanted to see this past Saturday, a complete game. Yeah, they need to put a complete game, especially against Narduzzi, because he's going to come up with some wrinkles, some trick plays. He's going to want. I wouldn't put it past him to fake a punt, fake a field goal. He's going to try and make Notre Dame look stupid. He hates Notre Dame. That is one toxic SOB. I hope Notre Dame beats him 56-7. I really do. But that quarterback is very shifty. So it's going to be fun. At least we've got one of those games left. And God knows, I hope they don't sleepwalk with the other two.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting, Tom. Hey, man, thanks for joining on a Wednesday morning. Your hair looks fantastic. And go Blackhawks, buddy. We'll talk to you, Tom. Love you.
I'll see you in church after the collection.
Oh, yeah. See you, buddy. Liam, let's get you before you got to go back to work.
Johnny, how are you?
Good. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for waiting.
No problem. I'm going to be quick. I posted this in the chat that you and I had. I was complaining about the results or the performance during Boston College. Not necessarily happy. But if you juxtapose that with how I felt in September, 2 losses in a row, now we're talking about maybe, perhaps we could get a home playoff game. It can't get any better than that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this was the best possible outcome for Notre Dame's situation. And Pat may be right. Notre Dame may be a little overvalued. Well, if that's the case, run with it and embrace the opportunity you're given.
I think we might be overvalued, but I think that the committee sees our potential. Like, didn't we score in 7 straight drives against Arkansas? Didn't the defense look like amazing against certain parts of when we were facing USC? So I think the committee is feeling if we could put a 100% great game on offense and defense together, that we got a real chance of making a run.
Yeah, it is. Now, listen, man, it's great to be excited. Notre Dame's in the position to have a chance to bounce back from the frustrations early in the year and all that. But like, no one here is saying Notre Dame's at a title level team right now. Like, you're not there. It's just you have an opportunity to get a lot better in November and really make something happen of a season that we thought maybe was going to crater and tank in September. And now you're fighting back in a good spot. This is a great opportunity. Notre Dame needs to take advantage of it.
Well, were people thinking that, like, what were Ohio State fans' reactions when they lost to Michigan during their last game? I don't think that they thought that they were going to win a national championship, that they were going to win 3 or 4 in a row. So I think there's reason for optimism. It can be careful optimism, but, you know, perhaps we should address this with a glasses half full, because now it's up to the players and coaches. Go win convincingly, and have a good showing in the first round, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I absolutely hope there is a re-energizing that happens now with the whole Notre Dame ecosystem, especially in the locker room, of like, dude, you are right in this. And like, it's just seemed kind of tedious all year after the first 2 losses of how Notre Dame's perceived and what they are. You're in position to really have a good opportunity here. Make the playoff in back-to-back years with a first-time DC, a brand new starting quarterback, a ton of injuries. You can't kick an extra point. Like, your defense still has some issues sometimes, but it's tightening up. What a great opportunity. Embrace it. Lean into it.
I think it's a good opportunity for you too, because after Boston College, I ripped half my T-shirts off. and now I have an excuse to go to the Always Irish Merch Center and get some new T-shirts. So I'm going to have to reinvigorate my wardrobe. It's a good opportunity for me to take the moths out of my wallet.
I think that's fantastic. And you know what? We don't have bookstore prices over there. Get you a shirt for cheaper.
No tariffs here, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Yeah,
right,
the Always Irish tariff.
I got to run. Thank you so much.
Have a good one, man. Thanks for joining. Anybody wants to jump in, feel free. There you go. Main man Martinez, you unmuted your mic. Let's see what you think. And then I got some Navy thoughts I need to get out. One main one, and I'm going to write it down so I don't forget it. We already covered. I have a short attention span. Main man, what's up, buddy?
Hey, John, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, look, I'm glad that this sideshow's all over, bro, because it's not about being negative this morning. It's just, bro, like I've said 100 times before, we're one of the 3 biggest brands in sports in the world, bro. Truth be told, okay? Like, I'm glad the sideshow's over. You know what I mean? And we're in, and everybody can just rest. I'm glad Tom kind of went towards the football aspect. Just went out now, man. Just went out. The defense is starting to find their identity, their image. You know, you don't realize until people are gone. Like I tell you, bro, not to change the subject, but I kind of want to get to you. Cross, Mills, Kaiser, Watts. In that alone, right there, you had maybe for 4 players. Let's make sure. Let's 8 players worth of statistics and numbers. Okay, the defense is on the trending up. I was just as upset as you guys were, first and foremost, about the Boston College game because I couldn't see half of it. Because the stupid ass station and ESPN. Why would they put us on ESPN? Because like Pat said, no one cares about Boston College, Notre Dame, other than the people that genuinely love those teams. Okay, that's why I was heated. Second, we go to the numbers thing. You don't realize how many players that you lost really calculated towards those numbers. You know what I mean? The sacks, the pressures, the interceptions, the tackles, et cetera, et cetera. So now we're on a trending up. Our defense is starting to gel.
Yeah, Renee, you're right. The literal, the spinal column of Notre Dame's elite defense from the last 2 years was gone. You lost your best 2 secondary guys, your captain linebacker, and your 2 key cogs on the defensive line. That was a lot to replace. And then you add in a new coordinator. It was a big ask, but you had hoped Notre Dame's program was deep enough that it would be able to withstand the changes.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I tell you, I'll come from my buddy that runs Level Up, and he had that number 1 signee quarterback on his 7-on-7s traveling team. He travels them around the country. I think I showed some of the guys. He played defense in the California League at a JUCO. I mean, he went at 24 years old after I had gotten out, after he had kids. Like, I'm going to go back and play. So I said, hey, bro, why are you guys getting killed? He goes, because our offense isn't pushing, right? We're on the field too damn long. And I'm not saying nothing towards the offense. But in the first 2 games, the deep and any other times that they didn't perform, the defense was just on the field too damn long. Yeah. A lot of it was those mistakes, like we said. But now everything's starting to gel. Everything really is starting to gel. We're trending up. We're hey, bro, you said it best, and so does Goolsby says it best. People want to see Marcus Freeman. The camera loves Marcus Freeman. Guys have man crush. They're man crush. When mothers love him, right? They're gonna get him in. He's the head coach to one of the 3 hardest jobs in the world, one of the 3 biggest brands in the world. We're gonna get in. So I'm glad all that shit's over, man. And now we just gotta win out. Week in, week out, man. The chaos will happen within itself. Now, the chaos will happen within itself within these supposedly hard conferences cannibalizing themselves. So all that stuff will change at the end. The important thing is take care of Navy, and then take care of who do we have after Navy, John?
You got to go to Pitt for that noon game.
Okay, now that one's always a stone in our shoe. It's like that's the one like with Boston College. If we play down to their talent, we always play down to Pitt's talent. And anybody who's ever watched Notre Dame football knows that. And then hopefully we finish, and then Syracuse, the Angeli Bowl, and then Stanford, right? And then right there, we just let the rest of the teams capitalize themselves. Go ahead, John.
Yep. Nope. That's it, man. That's the roadmap.
But
But Notre Dame's got to these next two games are tricky. Navy's always tricky in a unique way. And Pitt is preparing for Notre Dame. They have a bye week. They will be ready to host Notre Dame the following week at noon.
right, John, and I'm just going to make one last point about this. Look, you want to see my face? You want to see my face? Anyways, I'm going to show you this. The thing that pisses me off about this morning, that Indiana is such a pretender. Such a pretender, dude. Three junior high teams. Three, homie. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't know. 3 junior high teams, their first game. One win against one ranked opponent. No different. Okay? Dude, they're like this. This is a 12-inch block. This is a 10-inch block. This is a split face block, okay? This block weighs as much as this. Okay? It weighs as much as that. This is definitely the heavyweights. The reason why I show you guys that, because they're just pretenders. Pretenders. We're a little rough, rugged, and raw, John. A little rough, rugged, and raw when we started. But guess what? It's going to be a beautiful finished product, brother. You see that? That's what Notre Dame is, homie. Just as tough as anyone else. Signetti, oh, man. That's why. They're such trash, bro. And that's why I call them pencil geek rejects. That just sit John, no shot to you guys. That just sit behind their desks and get their ego stroked by whoever the hell is the next man in line. You know what I mean, John? And so we're gonna be just fine. Win out today. I mean, win out this week. Win out the weeks come. And brother, like we're gonna make some noise in the playoffs, and hopefully all the injured will start getting healthy. Hey, one last thing, John. Hey, chat. This is for you guys.
Dude, that's awesome. I like.
Dude, I made. Yeah, I cut him out of these block, bro.
That's great, man. I like that. That's coming out of your paycheck.
Hey, don't tell the boss. Hey, John, man, I love you guys. I hope what I was saying kind of made sense. I know I'm just so sick of the rigged things, man, and all that, and like, you know, the no respect for Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame. And one thing I would just want to address to Kent. Kent, I give you respect because we haven't beat you in 100 years. I do, brother. I give you 100% respect. But you keep talking about last year's shit. NIU, Marshall, all that stuff. But here's the thing, though, bro. What about last year when we beat the SEC champs right in their own backyard? Right in their own backyard, man. Like, come on, dude. So, hey, John, I love you guys. You know what I mean? Stay safe out there, man. I really do. I'm excited for the rest of these weeks coming up. I'm glad that circus is over, John. I love you, man. I'll stay in touch. I'll just be listening the rest of the week. Onward, Notre Dame.
Have a good one. Thanks for joining. I love the props, bro. That's next level. I love the props. Jay Carr. John, have you considered a toupee? You guys, what do you think I'm going to do here? Be balding and then one day I show up with a mop on my head and no one's going to notice? Like, how the hell would that even work? That I'm balding and everybody's gotten used to it every single day here for like 10 years. And then one day I show up with what? A curly full afro and no one's going to notice? Yeah, maybe I'll just get some dreads or something. Unbelievable. I thought you already were wearing a toupee. It's just funny, man. Come on, dude. Let's see if what Lewis is doing. What's up, buddy?
What's up, John? Man,
What made
sorry,
you
man. I
guys
dropped
are
my
working hard today? You guys are hard working.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. Why did I tell you on Saturday? We're blue collars, bro. We ain't no fake people. We're blue collars over here, working all day, every day, 7 days straight this week. Nobody off. The only time I got off is to watch the Navy game, and I'll be on time just for that. So I fit that in my schedule. Set my team up the way it is. Now.
Uh-oh.
Talk about some.
Try it again, man. I'm having trouble with that. Here, I'll try it again. There, you back?
All right. Yeah. So
There you
call
go.
it what you want. Blue collar, no blue collar. We are Notre Dame. We, you know what we did in the beginning of the season just shows you that we're willing to go toe to toe. It don't matter where it's at, what time, any place, anytime. We done that. Okay, we got our ass whooped. We got our ass lesson. Now we're showing you that within time we will be where we need to be, and that's exactly what we're doing. Now Notre Dame needs to do is handle their own business. They need to handle their own business. Take care of each and every day. Take care of yourself. Get your fundamentals straight. Get your tactics correct. Your run blocking correct. Get healthy. Just take care of business. We will be at the end of the day where we need to be. If Notre Dame takes care of what Notre Dame needs to take care of. Other than that, hey, we are the university. Marcus Freeman is so important.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys calling from work. That's a lot of effort. You're blue collar bougie, baby. Blue collar bougie.
Oh man, hey, like I said, bro, if you want to be bougie, but you got to put in that time and effort. You know what I'm saying? And look, it's windy as hell, and it's about a storm coming. And you know what? That still don't stop me, my boy. Hey, hard work. Hey, but what does it say? Work hard, play hard, my boy. That's why we shot down those aisles. We ain't scared of going down those aisles anymore, my boy. I walked in my my boys from Nevada, Reno, Nevada. I love y'all. Love you, John. Y'all take care.
Have a good one, man. I'm telling you, it means the world to me when these people call from work. Like, it's just like all the things you got to worry about doing all this. It's just like, it just cracks me up that people do that from work, man. That's a lot of effort just to talk, like, be a part of this. I really appreciate it. It's really, really funny. Kent, you're being kind of. I know. I know that a lot of people really hate Kent, but he's doing some good one-liners today. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't care if a guy's roasting us or not. If you're doing a good one-liner, I'm going to, like, it is funny. He's on a little bit of a roll today with some of this. The 19... he referenced 1933. He's doing this. It was, some of it is really funny. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me get to, it was Kent. You've had some good one-liners. I'm sorry, you have. Okay, I want to go over a Navy thought. Here's the link again, anybody that wants it. I have one prevailing Navy thought that is front and center in my brain. And I know I'm not the only one with the Notre Dame media and the podcast, the content. I know I'm not the only ones. Okay. Marcus Freeman needs to make sure whatever they were doing during the last off week to prepare for Navy, Marcus Freeman needs to make sure Ash doesn't do anything weird. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't always trust Ash's plan. And I think the reason we got in trouble early in the year is playing passive, playing soft, waiting back and reacting rather than forcing the action. And I know some of that comes with, if you're going to play zone, it lends itself to more read and react than you forcing what's happening. I know all that. That doesn't work against Navy. And I'm not trying to disrespect Chris Ash because the defense is making a very good return. Okay, they're making a very good comeback. You never beat Navy playing passive on defense. You beat Navy by being aggressive all the time and firing downhill and getting penetration and disrupting anything they want to cook. You got to disrupt that timing bind or at the line of scrimmage. There is, by the time you wait and react against Navy, the play's 4.5 yards down the field. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Ash, but there are still some things that don't really make sense sometimes that they do. Freeman needs to make sure he's all over this game plan. We are crashing downhill. We are causing disruption at the line. We are penetrating. I need you penetrating more than Johnny Holmes in 1978. I need you crashing downhill all the time. There cannot be any of this wait and react. It's too late by the time you do that against Navy, because even a bat, one of the Pat, am I too predictable? One. I'm a mature 41-year-old. That's for damn sure. You guys know me too well. But I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I just need to make sure, I need to know that Freeman's DNA is all over this. And that there is no, we're going to just kind of read and react, and the linebackers will react to what the pitch is, or the fullback. It's too late. You have better, faster, bigger athletes than they have. Crash downhill, cause disruption. You did it last year, and you caused like 5 turnovers because you were in the backfield while they were trying to hand it off and pitch the ball. You were already back there. That's what I need. That's what I need. Pat, that's too far. That's inappropriate. So I'm just saying, like, that's one little anxiety I have about this is I need to make sure that I have the comfort that Freeman is all over this. And it's like, bro, we're not doing any of this passive soft stuff. We have the athletes. That's the formula. It worked last year. You crash that line. You shoot the gaps. I really didn't mean that, but there's another one, Pat. You shoot the gaps hard. You shoot the gap hard. And you cause problems back there. Phil, shut up. I'm not listening to that from you, Phil. Phil, you got a one-liner every single time. Shut up. I'm not listening to you, Philly special. Choose hard. Who says we don't run a professional operation here, folks? This is a hardcore breakdown of this game. And I do mean hardcore. That's the other thing. I'm talking about this defense. Right? And doing what you need to do to disrupt and get in the backfield and all that. The other part of it is offensively, you got to score, man. You got to score. And there cannot be any of this. We move the ball and then we get in the red zone and then we can't punch it in even against Navy. And then we can't kick a field goal. And then Price fumbles on the 3. No. No. You're going to mess around and get beat by Navy. You start playing those games. Like, that's the other thing. Offensively, you better score. When I looked up the research on Navy, it's a game of inches. Wait. Oh, man, I love this stupid show so much. You got to score, man. You got to score early and you got to score often, which is also relevant to the conversation we're having on the side. So there can be no messing around. You can't turn the ball. Oh, what I was going to say before I was so rudely and inappropriately interrupted. You lose an average of somewhere between 3 to 4 possessions playing Navy than you do playing anyone else. Because of the way they eat up the clock and take up all the time. You got to be careful on that one. Because of the way they eat up the clock, you lose an average of 1.5 to 2 possessions a half. They lessen the margins, which means you have to be more effective and more efficient. So I'm just saying, you got to score, and you got to score 7 because, quite frankly, usually you would say about Notre Dame, you got to score 7 and not 3. You got to score 7 because you're physically incapable of scoring 3, quite frankly. See, like, seriously, you got to score 7 because I don't really even think you can score 3. So 7 is your option, bro. 7 is your option. Force 3 and outs, create turnovers. Here's the key to this. You've got to get Navy in uncomfortable positions on first and second down. What annoys me about playing Navy, some of their boring plays that don't look good, it's a first down run play and they get 4 yards. And it's like not even a good play. And the Notre Dame guys touching them, but they fall forward with their goofy blocking and it's 3.5, 4 yards on first down. You do it again and it's 4 yards. Now it's 3rd and 1. Like, you got to get them in an uncomfortable position on early downs to put them in a bad spot on 3rd down and 4th down. You cannot be giving up 4 yards on a boring fullback dive on first down and another 4 yards on some stupid ass pitch on second. And now it's 3rd and 1. No, you got to get in there and cause problems. You got to get in that backfield and cause problems. And so I just need to know Freeman is all over this. And then I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Ash. The defense has gotten a lot better. But this is his first time at Notre Dame defending them. I need to make sure that the plan is what you did last year. All of that downhill aggression and discipline. Stay in your lane. Somebody's got to control the edge. Stay in your lanes. Who's watching that quarterback? Who's got the fullback dive? Stay in your lanes. Go. When a defense clicks against Navy, it looks awesome. And if you don't have the right plan, it's a long day. It's one of those things where it's like real hit or miss, man. It's real hit or miss. You're either on it or you're going to have a really rough day. Last year, Notre Dame was on it. And I'm telling you, they were in the backfield before the play could develop and it ruined everything. That's where a bunch of those turnovers came because before they were able to get into what they wanted to, Notre Dame was disrupting it all. I need it again. Couple turnovers, whatever, but you got to win early on first and second down. Phil, scoring is hard. It certainly is. It certainly is, especially if you're married. So I need to make sure that is, John, I got to stop you. Ash was a defense coordinator at Ohio State when he played Navy. He knows how to defend them. I am on high alert, Kent. You gave up 700 yards and points in the first 2 games. I'm on alert. I'm glad some of you guys caught that. Of course, it's Phil and Pat. Of course, it's Phil and Pat. So I have a little anxiety about that. So it's fine, Ash, do your thing then. Go ahead, do your thing. But I just have some anxiety there. And then here's the other thing. This statistic came up. Of all the improvements Notre Dame's defense has done, getting back to respectable levels after the first 2 weeks of not knowing what they were doing or who could play or anything else, quite frankly, the defense has gotten the numbers back to a respectable level overall. There is one area where they're still really terrible. 124th in the country in 20-yard plus plays allowed. Pass plays. So that defense, since the first 2 weeks, has gotten a lot better. One area they're not good enough. 124th in still allowing 20-yard plus pass plays. And if you think about it, a lot of them are soft zone, over the middle crossers. They hit the guy in stride. There's no Notre Dame guy anywhere near him. And he cuts right through in stride, cuts it up the sideline, and it's a 42-yard gain. It feels like we give up a lot of those. And the reason it feels like we give up a lot of those is because we give up a lot of those. That's a problem. That's a problem. So you need to tighten that up. You need to tighten that up real fast. Let me get to a couple of these chats. Let me get to a couple of these. Down pat. ND is absolutely a playoff team. Maybe not a title contender, but certainly a playoff team. I don't think any Notre Dame fan is saying to themselves, right now, this team is on fire, trending straight up, firing on all cylinders. Their health is good. They're playing great all over, like whatever, kicking ass every week. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But the sign that your program is trending in the right direction is when you feel like you're not firing on all cylinders and you still have a chance to do something awesome. That's a really good sign that the baseline level of your program is at a pretty high level when you're saying we're playing nowhere near peak optimization and you're still in position to do some things. That's a good spot to be. But I mean, yeah, Notre Dame's that. They're not, I'm not sitting there going, oh yeah, right as we sit today, title contender. No, way too inconsistent, too many injuries, too many big flaws. Figure it out in the next month. Maybe I'll look at it different, but that's where I'm at now. I'm fair. I'm a Notre Dame guy, but I know what I'm seeing. They're not a title level team as currently playing and constituted. No. Is AI going to take over AI? That'd be pretty interesting. What if I could just not do the show and I build an AI robot that looks like me and I input all the stuff for it to say and the mannerisms and the freaking out and everything? I give it the chain. I could just be taking a nap in the other room and I tell the AI how to run the show. Is this the future? Is this my future for real? The committee said before the season started, they were not going to punish teams for close losses to highly ranked teams. They want to encourage teams to schedule tough opponents. Well, then I guess that explains some of Notre Dame getting credit for the 2 early losses, I guess. Matthew, $5 holler. What other 2-loss team has Price and Love in their backfield? That's why ND's ranked 10th. The other thing is, if you don't make this field, if you lose to Pitt or whatever and you're out, what a wasted opportunity, man. All you really want to do is to be able to get into that playoff and see what Love and Price could do. And I know there's debate about Price and if he's going to the league and then does the fumble hurt him? I know there's debate about that. There is a good chance you lose both of those guys. To not even give them a chance to run wild in the playoff and do some heroic things for you would really be frustrating. Really be frustrating. So you got to find out a way. I don't want to overlook Syracuse and Stanford, but man, these next 2 weeks might pretty much be it. Pretty much might be it. And so it's going to get really, really interesting. And it's just good to be involved in November, considering how you started in September. Just not a good start, man. Just not a good start at all. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Hello, everybody. Prayers for those involved in the UPS airline crowd. That's a bad, bro. That's a bad look. I'm an anxious flyer. That shouldn't surprise any of you. I do not like giving up control of my well-being to other strangers because I don't trust anybody in this stupid, messed up world we live in. So for me to just willingly sit in an aluminum tube 36,000 feet in the air and just hope the pilot isn't stupid or depressed or anything else, I don't like it. I hate it. I love the result of air travel. The process is one of the worst things in the world. I hate everyone I see at an airport. Everyone's annoying or doing something that bothers me and not acting right, pissing me off. Just the whole philosophical concept of I'm going to get in an aluminum tube 36,000 feet in the air, and I'm going to trust this guy running it is like not having a bad day and wants to just end it all or isn't just an idiot. That's a lot of faith, bro. That's a lot of faith. I don't like air travel. I like the result. I'm also a big advocate for this with air travel. I need a button like a limousine where I press it and a divider comes up that separates my spot from the next spot. And if half of your sweaty gut gets chopped off by my barrier, that's your problem. I want a personal divider. Let me hit the button just like a limo. And I am separated from whatever nonsense is going on next to me. So I'm sorry if that means that you're all smashed in there or whatever because you don't fit. Not my hashtag, not my problem. Get out of my area. That old granny that was eating freaking like eggs and stuff on the plane, 3-day-old eggs on the plane. Oh, it better whip that out. I want a barrier from the public because they don't know how to act. Oh, I'm flying. I'm just going to kick off my shoes and let my sweaty hoofs fly. Nobody wants to see your stupid feet on a plane. Keep your shoes on. Anyways. John, come on, bro. We all know you fly first class. I've never flown first class in my life. I try and limit the flying, man. Every time you fly, you're risking instant death. Everybody needs to understand that. Next vacation, that business trip, you're rolling the dice and you just pray that it isn't your number that day. I can't think of a worse way to die than going down in a plane crash. And it isn't the death, it's the feeling of knowing you're going to die. It's the feeling of knowing it's coming. Every time I fly, I just say, I'm rolling the dice. I just hope it's not my day today where something goes wrong. And you know what else, too? Half of these, no, Pat. Oh, come on. Nope. I've gone over this a million times. I have been in multiple car accidents, and I'm still alive. That's the difference. I always see these statistics. You're way more statistically likely to get in a car accident or whatever than a plane accident. Yeah. But I've been in multiple car accidents and I'm alive to tell about it. You don't usually survive a plane crash. And you have no control over it. I've been in some near car accidents, but I'm able to decide what happens and avoid it. You have no control in a plane. You have no control. You just a passenger and you just hope you don't die. I am not confusing the statistics. You're a lot more likely to die in a car crash or whatever. I just like the idea of having control, Pat. It's a control issue. It's a control issue. I don't like giving up the control. You're more likely to be killed in a car accident than flying. That's fine, but I don't like giving up total control. In a car, I have some leeway of what's going on. Still been in some bad car accidents and had family members never recover and die from them. Like I've been through some shit. How about 4th grade, Thanksgiving morning? We're going to Chicago. Oh, just kidding. A guy runs a stop sign while we're getting on the highway and nails us head on and we're on fire in the ditch. I didn't even get any turkey. Everybody's knocked out. There's flames coming. Everybody's laying there. They got to get the jaws of death and cut everybody out. That was my Thanksgiving in 4th grade. I didn't get no turkey, and I thought my family was dead. You guys wonder why I'm messed up? Anyways, this really took a turn. But yeah, Thanksgiving's a weird day to me. I don't like driving a lot on Thanksgiving. That's the one, man. It was like slow motion. I saw the guy, 4th grade. I remember everything about it. Bro, this guy was blowing the stop sign. It was like slow motion. We hit him. I remember being in the air when the 2 cars hit the ditch, took out a pole with the golf course over here sideways in the ditch by the road. Oh, man. Andrew, I was going to say this. The birds a lot of those engine failures are bird strikes. You are telling me in the multi-billion-dollar air travel industry, there isn't some Boeing engineer that could come up with a bird guard for those turbine engines? Most of those are bird strikes that shoot out the engine. All these engineering and tech people that work for Boeing and everything else, nobody can come up with a way to prevent that. Still have the turbine engine work and not, you hit a goose and your brain is loose as you crash. Come on, bro. Come on, man. So I don't know. I've been in 2 emergency landings. One emergency landing, a guy had a heart attack while we were flying, and we had to land at a military base in the mountains in Colorado. Not a comfortable landing, by the way. They go, we have a medical emergency. We're going to be on the ground in 5 minutes, and it's going to be rough. It was. We had that one, and then I had one in Canada, too. I had to go to Montreal for work, and we had an emergency landing in Canada, too. I don't like it. Yeah, ask me about cruises. I go on a cruise, and, John's going to relax. Just kidding. A guy jumps off the 10th deck and ends it all in front of everybody. And it's a huge panic, and everybody misses their flight home because we're floating in the ocean looking for his carcass for a day and a half. That was when I was in the death game. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go on a cruise so I can totally get away from death for a while and have a break from that. Nope. Psych your mind, bro. John's out here counseling all the people freaking out. Watch this guy jump off. You guys wonder why I just want to stay home and be left alone in my basement. This is why. Yeah, I will never go on another cruise again. It's not worth it. Too many people, too crowded. People don't know how to act. They have no manners. I don't like it. You know what else? Worse than the people jumping off and dying. I am scared to death to go on one of those diarrhea cruises where everybody gets the virus from eating off the buffet because one guy didn't wipe and it's all over the food. And then they're all stuck. Their toilets are overflowing. They're not moving. You know what I'm talking about? Some of them poop cruises. I'm scared. Scuba diving is a blast. Don't get me started on when I went. Don't get me started on when I did that and I got water in my blowhole. There you go again. John goes on a California vacation. Oh, John's in California. I'm going to be a California boy. And I try and go snorkeling and the water gets in my blowhole in the waves and my flipper doesn't work and there's sharks below me. I don't need these kind of problems. I got enough issues in my own brain. I just want to be left alone. Some of those cruises now, it looks to me like you're going to the worst nightclub in the shittiest city within a 100-mile radius, and there's no way to get away from it. I have no interest at all. It does. It looks like you walked into the most annoying nightclub you could ever walk into, and there's no escape. I have no interest. Leave me alone. That is my biggest goal in life, to just be left alone. Anyways, so those are some of my memories. Scar tissue that I wish you saw. I mean, I've been through some stuff. Good old Giardo. I don't even know what that word is. I don't even know what that is. What is this? Good old Giardia never. What does that mean? What's a Giardia? What the hell is even that? What is a Giardia?
What the hell is even that?
I don't even know what that is.
What?
Whoa. Anyways. All right, you guys, this is a good time to go ahead and end the episode. I think we're gonna go ahead. Oh, it's the diarrhea. I'm telling you, I would probably jump in the water and just risk it. I would lose my absolute mind. I would absolutely lose my mind. I love you guys. This is a really fun show. Thank you for being here. We sprayed all fields, so to speak. We're all over the map. I love you guys from being here. I love doing this show. You guys are the best. Notre Dame's in a playoff hunt. Keep it rolling. Talk to you.